So hey, it's Harry Husky, or as you may better know me on this channel as Harry Film Stuff. So whatever date this video goes out, if it is July 19th I will be quite surprised, but whatever the day is that this video is out, today has marked the end of COVID restrictions in England, and I don't exactly know where things are going to go from here, but I do feel I want to take this opportunity to make a little talk about the past 15 months we've been through. We have been living through stuff that is definitely going to be going down in the history books, not just because of the COVID-19 pandemic. There's been a lot of terrible stuff that's been happening since the pandemic began across the globe, and if you've ever wondered what it was like to be a part of events that have been down in the history books, like you've been taught in schools or whatever, this is definitely it. This is history, and we are living it, and I do hope that this whole thing we can put behind us and it will remain history. So I'm sure that for all of us, COVID-19 has been very difficult for all of us. I mean, it's affected me long before it was actually considered a global pandemic. I started being affected by it when the world started knowing about it, because partially for what I do for a living, I actually had to get some parts, some electrical parts, coming in from China, and what's worse was some of them were actually coming in from Wuhan, which was the epicenter of where it all started. So not long after that, I think the whole city of Wuhan ended up being in lockdown, and none of my parts or what I ordered could not be delivered. So I placed them in mid-January, and normally I would get them in early March, which used to be quite the usual timing for buying stuff from China. But with how things have been going over the past few years, I did manage to get a lot of my orders quicker via AliExpress as well. But when the COVID-19 first started hitting China, I was badly affected by this, and a lot of commission jobs had to be put on hold because of the parts that they were using, and the fact that I couldn't get the parts in time for certain events that they were going to be a part of. I just things kind of crumbled there, and I think rolling about a month and a half, it was March where it was considered a global pandemic by the World Health Organization, and we all know how downhill everything went from there, with things getting cancelled, stay-at-home orders, limiting on social contact. It was pretty tough times, but I mean, we could be a lot worse off, because if you think about if this pandemic started in like maybe 20 years ago, without the technology that we have nowadays, I don't think we would be able to be in touch with each other as much as we have been during these absolutely difficult and trying times. As these times have been going on, it's been grueling, it's been making me crumble deep down inside. I'm sure it's been probably the same for you guys watching this. But roll on to, it's actually July as of recording this. So I don't know when this video goes out. Hopefully it will be on July 19th, but maybe it might be a little bit later that, depending on when COVID restrictions do actually end in England. But I do feel like things were starting to look up when in early December of 2020, the Pfizer biotech vaccine was the first to be approved anywhere in the world, in the UK, and somebody in the UK, I think an 80-year-old woman, was the first in the world to receive a approved COVID-19 vaccine, and things definitely look to have been going uphill from there, even though the UK did see record-breaking COVID cases and record-breaking deaths and record-breaking hospitalisations. But after that, it's been quite a roller coaster, I have to say. Thanks to vaccination, it is reducing the severity of COVID. So thanks to most of the adult population being vaccinated. Because by the way, this is proof to me that anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists thankfully are a small minority. And so the thing I just want to say is, people want 100% like the entire adult vaccination to be vaccinated. But if you want me to be truthful, that will never happen. Like, you will never ever vaccinate 100% of the Earth's population, let alone a country's population. It's hard with the people who don't want it. It is impossible with the anti-vaxxers. But just repeating what I said, with how many have been vaccinated, I think as recorded, it's like 80% of people who are on their first dose and 60-something% who are on their second dose. This is definitely evidence that these anti-vaxxers definitely a small minority, and this has given me some faith in humanity. Now, by the time this video does go out, we have seen an end to masks and social distancing in the UK, but personally, and I do feel that hopefully you all will agree on me. But despite masks and social distancing being scrapped, public health importance will still be an important high, or I'm trying to think how I can word that. Basically what I'm trying to say is, even though masks and social distancing may not be needed in some places, but it will still be important to keep in mind that COVID-19 is still a public health emergency, and we all need to be vigilant, and we all need to play our part to stop another global disaster like this from happening again. Because I cannot do this again. When the pandemic did hit, one of the YouTube channels that I run, I would actually have to go out to places to get videos, and I would actually make quite a bit of money from it. I was able to go to events and conventions thanks to the money I was actually being able to make off of YouTube. And in a month where I could have been earning £100 and something, I ended up only earning, what, about £9.85 because I had literally nothing to upload, because I've not been able to get to any events. Sorry about that. Where was I? Look, the thing I just want to say is, I may as well just finish this video off with this. Even though we are seeing the end of certain COVID-19 restrictions, every single one of us needs to cooperate and work together to stop this virus from getting worse, and to stop this virus from putting through everything that we have been through the past 15 months or so, because for every single one of us it's just been living hell. I mean, we could be in worse times, I'm aware of that, but I just want to feel like... Actually, there's one thing I am going to do. When the pandemic is considered over, there's one thing I definitely want to do, and that is make something like a COVID-19 box, so anything related to the pandemic, like for example masks, vaccination cards, any letters that we may have received in the post relating to the COVID-19 pandemic and anything associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. I want to keep in a box somewhere and put it in the attic somewhere, because no matter how bad things may be in the world in future years to come, we can look back at something like that and think we could be far worse off, like we could be in worse times than how bad is happening in the world right now. I mean, to think that in 2020, because 2020 was a cursed year, like we were on the brink of a nuclear war, we had the World War III scare, but I feel like in this modern day and age, something like World War III shouldn't happen, with how connected and how people are cooperating to make love and not war. Yeah, so I've just thrown out every single possible word I can say for this particular video. I just wanted to get a lot of things off my chest about the times that we have been living through and what I want to see moving forwards. So all I ask is, let's not go through something like this again. Let's make global pandemics a thing of the past. Let's cooperate and work together to make sure something like this never happens again. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and goodbye, and good health. Mwah.